In this video, I'll be showing how and where to play sharps and flats in all key signatures. I'll be showing how to do this for the four main clefs in use today: treble, bass, alto and tenor. Now, if you're not interested in one or more of these clefs, then please do keep watching. I will show all four clefs on the screen at the same time, so if any clef is of no relevance to you, please just ignore that part of the screen. What I will not be showing you is how to calculate key signatures or how to read the alto and tenor clefs. I do have other videos available that can help you with these topics, so have a look at my other videos if you need to. Okay, as you can see, the screen is split into four, with each quarter reserved for each of the four clefs I will be looking at. I'm going to start by looking only at key signatures with sharps in them, and at the bottom of the screen I'm going to write my silly phrase, which you may remember if you've watched my videos on the circle of fifths. Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket. Now, you may have your own phrase, and that's fine, but this is what I'll be using to help me calculate the order of key signatures. By using the first letter of each word from this phrase, this will tell us which notes to use in our key signature. For example, let's start by looking at a key signature with just one sharp, G major or E minor. We take the first letter from our phrase, the F, and it becomes the first sharp on our stave, F sharp. The F sharp is always placed at the very top of the stave, with the exception of the tenor clef where it sits at the bottom. Now, there is a reason for this. I'll explain it further in a moment. Two sharps, D major and B minor, we take the first letter from the first two words of our silly phrase, F and C, and they are placed in this order on the stave, F sharp and then C sharp. Notice how the C sharp is placed lower than the F sharp, again with the exception of the tenor clef where it's placed higher. Three sharps, A major and F sharp minor. The first letter from the first three words, F, C and G, become F sharp, C sharp and G sharp. The G sharp is placed higher than the C sharp, the tenor clef being the exception once again. Four sharps, E major and C sharp minor. The first letter from the first four words give us a key signature of F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. Notice how the D sharp is placed below the G sharp. Now, I'm just going to take a moment to explain why the tenor clef is slightly different. Even if you're not watching this video for the layout of key signatures on the tenor clef, it is worth watching this as the reason is relevant to all clefs. Let's imagine that we, like all other clefs, started the F sharp at the top of the tenor clef stave. The F sharp would sit here. We would then place the C sharp lower than the F sharp, like all of the other clefs. However, the problem occurs when we try to add in the next sharp, the G sharp, which goes above the C sharp. The next G sharp above the C sharp would sit here, and it needs a ledger line. Key signatures must never ever use a ledger line. Therefore, sharp key signatures on the tenor clef start at the bottom rather than the top to avoid using that ledger line. So let's quickly race on through the other remaining sharp key signatures. Hopefully by now you get the idea of using the first letter from our silly phrase to help us know which sharp appears next in the key signature. Here's five sharps. We've added an A sharp. Notice how it sits below the D sharp, even for tenor clef. Six sharps. We've added an E sharp. It sits higher than the previous A sharp for all clefs. And finally, seven sharps. The B sharp, it sits below the E sharp for all clefs. And that's it. There are no more notes to sharpen. Let's look at key signatures that use flats. To work out flats, we recycle the phrase at the bottom of the screen. Rather than the order of letters being F, C, G, D, A, E and B, the first letter from each word, we reverse the series of letters to become B, E, A, D, G, C and F. Again, I use a very silly phrase to help me remember this. Blanket exploded and Dad got charred feet. Feel free to use something else if that helps you to remember this order. So, like sharps, we take the first letter from the first word, B, and it becomes B flat in key signatures with one flat, F major and D minor. Notice how for all clefs it sits in the middle of the stave. The pattern for flats, you'll be pleased to hear, is much simpler than for sharps. It is a simple case of up, down, with no exceptions for any clef. So for two flats, B flat major and G minor, we take the first letter from the first two words, B and E. They become B flat and E flat. Notice how the E flat is further up from the B flat, and the pattern just continues. 3 flats and the A flat is placed down from the E flat. 4 flats, the D flat is placed up from the A flat. 5 flats, the G flat is placed down from the D flat. 6 flats, the C flat is placed up from the G flat. And finally, 7 flats, the F flat is placed down from the C flat. And that's it. All key signatures and the 4 most common staves. The important things to remember with key signatures are they never use a ledger line. Secondly, the tenor clef is laid out differently to other clefs when using sharps, and they always follow the patterns of Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket for sharps, and we reverse that phrase, blanket exploded and Dad got charred feet, for flats. I do hope this video has been useful to you. Many thanks for watching.